My dear friends, brothers and sisters from all over the world, this is Dr. Priya Ranjan Trivedi. I am the Chancellor of a few universities in India and outside India. Today I am going to discuss and explain about the two words which I am always using and you should also know. First is neology, the other is neocracy. Why I am explaining these two words? Because this is most relevant in the present day context. Let me explain and define what is neology. Neology is N-E-O-L-O-G-Y. Neology is the art and science of evolving a new doctrine. So once we evolve a new doctrine, it has to be understood, evaluated, examined and promoted. So we have to have a neological policy. From neology, I am going to neological. We have to have a neological policy and a neological approach to solving different problems. Supposing we want to collect more taxes because we are wasting tons of money every day in every country to control the COVID-19. So naturally, we will require more and more funds. We want revenue collection, and that is possible only when we charge higher rate of tax, and the tax rate will be enhanced. It will be a real burden on the society and the people at large, those who are working class or those who are in the business. Everybody will be taxed. But I am longing for a day when, through a neological approach, we research if the tax rates are reduced, what positive impacts it will have. For that, we will have a separate discussion, maybe tomorrow. But I can tell you that the neological approach to tax reforms will go a long way in ensuring that the tax collection is at least 5 times more than what is being collected today. For example, we want to modify our transport system because of the traffic blockade everywhere. If there is a new approach, it is known as neological approach. We have to have the banking policy which should be foolproof, because there are businessmen who are looting money, who are cheating the government and the banks by really taking money and not repaying. There are frauds who are hacking the computer system and the ATMs, credit cards and debit cards. So we have to have some neological policies and approaches for having a new system. Wherever we propose a new system, may it be in the area of communication or politics or rural development or urban development, everywhere there is an urgent need for having this system. Then coming to the word neocracy. What is neocracy? Neocracy is the governance by new people. Governance by new people means we want new faces. Not that we want only young faces. There may be an old person who is a new face in the area of politics, and for the people, they are also acceptable. We are finding that the same person in a constituency or a district or a province or a state or in the country or countries, same persons, same sets of persons in opposition or in the ruling party are managing the state of affairs of a country or a government. But the neocratic approach will be to ensure that new faces are coming, because the old faces have a bias, always have a bias for a particular notion. In that case, the productivity goes very less and people get dissatisfied, disillusioned. In that case, what is to be done? we have to have a neocratic approach to governance, either at the village level or the block level or community level or the district level or the county level, for that matter at a divisional level, a state level, provincial level, or the country level, or the subcontinent level, or the continent level, or at the global level, even at the United Nations. Because at the UN also it is being felt that there is urgent need for having a neological approach to have some modification in the system. For that matter, that is why we are advocating that through a neological approach we will have a United Nations Spiritual Forum for World Peace. And we have already had seminars in more than 100 countries of the world to ensure and to get signatures to be submitted to the United Nations with a proposal that there should be a United Nations Spiritual Forum for World Peace. It is because the General Assembly is there, where the heads of governments go. But the fact remains that the heads of governments, once they come to their host countries, they find that whatever they are seeing is not being understood and digested by people. Even today, the spiritualists, the religious leaders are adored quite well. So in that case, if there is a parallel sitting there, like the General Assembly, a spiritual assembly, where whatever is resolved, it is very likely that by combining the efforts of the political leaders and the spiritual leaders, there will be a better output, and we are sure that the different problems of the world will be solved sooner in case we go through a neological approach to governance and neocratic approach to governance. So both these are to be clubbed together, and not only for this, but in the area of teaching or research or consultancy or in the area of environmental protection, everywhere we have to use this technique. And I'm sure after we start conducting case studies and researches, we'll come to a conclusion out of the alternative solutions, what is the optimal solution and optimum solution to ensure that the world becomes more productive, the world citizenry gets fully satisfied, and the systems become foolproof, the health system or education system or the transport system or the communication system or the banking system or the development system or the rural development system or the urban development system, or for that matter the different philosophies like eco-philosophy and eco-dharma, for which we'll have a different session, but we have to have an ecological mind, eco-culture or eco-wisdom, eco-ethics, eco-metaphysics, eco-development, eco-technology, and eco-politics, and finally eco-feminism. For this, we'll have one session on each of the topics on some other days and weeks. With these words, I thank you once again.